Hello, I am Kyle Funkhauser and I'm doing my pet peeve speech on the negative stigma that you receive by going to a community college. Let me first ask you this. What do these three people all have in common? Above we have George Lucas, Steve Jobs, and Aaron Rodgers. You first might think that all three gentlemen live in California before starting their prestigious career, but in reality, before their career, they actually started at a community college. And I believe many Americans, young Americans, or even any Americans should do this as well due to the flexibility in schedule, the focused faculty, the small class sizes, and of course, the financial savings you will be getting by making this decision. My story started off in UPMC nursing school because I wanted to be a nurse right out of high school. And it was a great program, 16 months and I'd get my RN. Needless to say, didn't make it. It was meant for people that already have a bachelor's degree and I was coming out of high school. I didn't know how to study or do any of that. So then I decided to transfer over to CCAC to not only because they have a great nursing program, but also I have the flexibility to really figure out my path while I'm there, to really save money and all that good stuff. Finally, after 2 semesters of nursing school, I decided this really wasn't for me, as it was the pandemic and I learned that I really like finance more than nursing. And finally, now that I'm, 2 semesters out, I'm finally transferring to Penn State to complete my bachelor's degree in finance. And really this all started simply because of the great tool that I was very blessed to have, which was community college. Now, to reverse the stigmatism, I really have to elaborate on what's so great about the community college. And as I mentioned, the flexible schedule. The flexible schedule will allow you to not only, pick whatever classes you want at whatever time, whether that's online, in person, day, night, etc. And during that, you can also be working, which is gaining that great work experience that employers might care about more than the time frame that you completed your degree. I know this because my cousin played football for 4 years and never had a job. And it was hard for him to find a job with his bachelor's degree from Indiana because he didn't have any work experience. Now, with this work experience, you'll get much further than you might think than just an education. Next, we have the focused faculty that community college often has. A study, Fremont University, which is a small school in Los Angeles. On their website, I noticed that they said that the faculty tend to have more time to devote to reading their students' assignments and providing feedback. Because of this, it makes complete sense that a more personalized learning might be more beneficial than saying go to a 100-person faculty lecture, simply because those faculty, you're just a number to those faculty in reality, and they have other things to worry about, which is okay, but you're going to get that more focused learning. Also, you'll have smaller class sizes, which again will increase your learnability. At least definitely for me, I was able to learn from that and really build my skills in whatever skill I was trying to acquire in these classes. And it really helped me out in the future as I feel as if I know a lot more about finance and all this other stuff that I learned. A Campbell Systematic Review did research on smaller class sizes, and they found that the overall reading effect corresponds to 53% chance that the sample size students can often score higher than ones from a larger class. Now that makes it statistically significant, as around half of the students, maybe a little bit more than half, might often score better when they're in a smaller class size. This also reviewed that it's around 49%, the same with mathematics. 2 very different subjects, but it makes much sense during that. And it's essentially the same, if not better, because of the smaller class size, and you'll also be saving that money. As I said, saving the money, finally, you do have saving money, which makes sense because PA on average has a debt of $36,000 per student in student loans, while community college in PA often costs around $12,500. Now, if you go to community college and then jump to a university, essentially you're going to be saving at least $8,000, which might sound really low if you think about it, but that's essentially a down payment for a new car, or maybe starting a down payment fund for your own house, which can definitely get you in a larger step forward from your peers when it comes to life. And essentially, the only thing you're missing out from going to community college from a university might be you're just not learning. You're saving money on taking general education courses, and at the same time, even if you do choose, say, CCAC, and you're in the Pittsburgh area, many private schools in this area often give scholarships for those that are in the honors program at CCAC, and even if you just do transfer over, because I have found that very interesting. And my final point that I'm going to discuss is that employers don't really care that much. You know, they attribute more of their interview questions towards experiences, as well as different characteristics that one might have, as opposed to what university they went to. Dr. Aaron Binns, who is a employment director at Marquette Law School, wrote a paper on what employers really value, and she wrote that these employers focused on other indicators of success, including attitudes of leadership, time management skills, and a sense of humor. And essentially, what I got from that is, you know, where you went to school ultimately does not matter. It's a matter of the experience that you have and the work ethic and everything that you put into that school. And essentially, you know, with all these indicators in mind, I do believe that community college should not have such a high stigmatism, because it does offer such flexible schedules, more efficient learning with this focused faculty and smaller class size, as well as the money saving aspect. And finally, you will get a job regardless, and especially in an